always want to thank you, Hello Future Buzz, for hosting these, and everyone for their time, Novia, Leemon, Mance, Julie. You just touched on something that was really, I think, the most invigorating part of this announcement for me, is to know that the focus of that infrastructure is now going to be coming from the masterminds that created that layer one. Being a person building tools on top of layer one as the company Turtle Moon, in your presentation, you talked about how you're going to be driving standards and standardization. And I just wanted to bend your ear on how are you going to manage when there's multiple shared worlds outside of the direct ecosystem of Hedera? Or do you have plans on how you're going to manage the mass standardization of things such as password recovery, like you were talking about, or just basic standards that each of these hash graphs can be isolated in their own world, but would still adopt? Because you're going to have to kind of, I don't know, wrangle cat, or herd cats with all of these different ecosystems, but then also try to put a layer of standards on top. Do you have an approach to that?
No, this isn't it. We're not going to manage them. That's the thing. Just like the World Wide Web, Tim Berners-Lee does not manage all the web servers in the world. All we have are standards for how you can talk to a web server, right? HTML and HTTP and HTTPS, and these are the standards for how they talk to each other. But there's a million different people building web servers. There's a million different people actually standing them up, and different people building web server software. It'll be the same thing. So people will be able to use HashGraph to build ledgers, these private ledgers, these ad hoc ledgers, these level 2 layer 2 ledgers, all sorts of things. And we won't manage them. That's the beauty of it. It's an ecosystem. You don't manage the ecosystem. What you do is you do standards. And when I say standards, I don't just mean that we declare this to be a standard. I mean, we can even talk to actual standards bodies and propose things and have other people modify them. And then finally the standards bodies say, okay, this is the official way for two ledgers to talk to each other. And there are interledger standards already, but I think we have some things to contribute there when it comes to state proofs and other things. So that's the whole point, is that we're not managing the Hedera ecosystem. You don't want an ecosystem that can be managed. What we want to do is work with the community to have standards that everyone helps create, everyone buys into, and then everyone can use so that we interoperate. And then there is no central management. It's all distributed. That's the goal.
So more of like a Web3C idea of what Web2 does with standards of HTML and JavaScript patterns, and then disseminating to, I apologize if I wasn't clear. I do know, like, Hedera's not trying to control these other hash graph, ecosystems, but thank you. That definitely brought clarity. And then just one follow-up, if that's okay.
Yeah.
With the change of Hedera to Swirlds, the Hedera devs have been an invaluable resource for us as we go through and integrate, our tools and build like NFT minting tools and stuff. But with them now becoming Swirlds employees, how do you approach the same execution of being a good development resource for the community and being an own privatized company that's trying to build its own IP? Even if you open source it, but still building their own products that might compete with that same question I'm asking a dev that works at Swirlds.
We will continue doing the things we've been doing, but we're also going to put it on steroids. The goal is to be helping developers who build on Hedera, help them with the open source things. Just today, I saw a really cool set of tutorial videos that were just created. The goal is to be able to do a lot more along those lines that we have in the past, helping people use these things. In addition, we can be creating some new libraries and things, and we'll help people use those as well. But absolutely, a central goal is to be able to help people use Hedera and use Happy, the Hedera API, and to be able to use the tools and the SDKs and understand how to build things and have examples. And we can do more of building example programs for people. And we can do more on organizing communities that help each other. Like on Stack Exchange, people help each other. We can organize more of those, or we can encourage those, I should say. The goal is to do everything we can to build the ecosystem. And we're not alone. We'll be one voice of many working to build the ecosystem. And that's the whole point. We want to stop saying, well, what is the one organization in charge of helping people use this ecosystem? We don't ever want that. What we want to do is have many people working to build the ecosystem. And we want to be leading the charge and getting others to do the same as well.